Hello everyone, welcome back to Advent of Code 2022 in March of 2023. I'm just teaching myself Kotlin while I solve these puzzles. For a change, I don't have anything to say about the previous day. No refactorings that I snuck in or whatever, so we're just going to start on day 7. No space left on device. You can hear birds chirping and raindrops hitting leaves as the expedition proceeds. Occasionally, you can even hear much louder sounds in the distance. How big do the animals get out here anyway? The device the elves gave you has problems with more than just its communication system. You try to run a system update. System update, please, pretty please with sugar on top. Okay. Perhaps you can delete some files to make space? You browse around. Wow, the terminal output is our input? Okay. File system is a tree of files. I'm already nervous. We go to slash. Oh boy. Okay, we have dot dots as well. Okay. Directories can contain directories or files called slash. Into or out. So we have dot dot and we have go into directories. Yeah. Within the terminal output, lines that begin with $1 are commands you executed. CD changes, yes, understood. ls means list. Yeah, this all makes sense. Given the file system visually looks like this, yeah. So the disk is full. Find directories that are good candidates for deletion. Determine the total size of each directory is the sum of the sizes of the files it contains directly or indirectly. So A's size is equal to like all of these plus E's size, right? For example. F, G, and H, and also I via E. Okay. Find all the directories with a total size, which here total means the total size of that directory, not the total size of the group of directories that you have found. And then the sum of their total sizes. Okay. So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there are cute tricks that like a competitive programmer would know here to solve this problem quickly and tersely without building up the whole tree. But, you know, me, just some guy, my idea is to produce the tree and then write a recursive program that consumes the tree, or that and then go through and label the tree with sizes, right? Well, I don't know the right way to traverse a tree in Kotlin. Like, I can build this. I don't think it's that hard to parse this input and convert it to a tree. It'll take some time and some, grinding, but the algorithm is not complicated. Well, wait, that's not quite true. Because, haha, Because this dot dot thing is like a mild, you know, trick. But, well, not really, maybe. Because, I mean, okay, we can do this. We can use mutation here, which will make things easier. We could basically say, like, okay, parse all of these into a list or sequence or whatever of some data structure type that is like, this is a command that changes the directory. This is a command that tells you something about the current directory. And then this is, you know, something... I mean, honestly, we could probably just throw away all the ls calls completely and ignore them, right? We need their results. Like, we need to know this. Whatever. I can't highlight properly. We need to know this. But we didn't really need this. But it's fine. We'll parse it anyway. And anytime we go into a directory, we always know, well, we always have its parent available when we make a subdirectory, right? And so creating a back pointer is not hard and doesn't even require mutation, right? We do need mutation to add the contents of a directory to the directory object we're going to be building. Because we get that after we find the node, after we create the directory itself. I say need. There's obviously some fold somehow that like does this immutably, but I'd just rather not in a language that is sort of not antagonistic to mutation. It would be easier to just mutate. So let's grab our input. And one question I wanted to see is, do we cd slash multiple times? No, only once. Okay, so we don't have to have special knowledge about the root, really. Except it just needs to be created at the beginning. Oh no, the butment dot numb. Amazing. Okay. So let's grab all this. And you guys will be so pleased that I came prepared today. I have a day7.txt file all ready to go. And I have a day7.kotlin file all ready to go. So we're like set here. There's a few things I want already. I want data class. You know, is this a transcript maybe? Because our transcript entries contain commands and they contain listings, right? So actually, I'm already doing kind of the wrong thing. I need to look up, like, there's like sealed data classes or something. Is that allowed? Am I allowed to write sealed? Public sealed data class. Yeah, okay. Transcript. Is this allowed? Did anybody like any of this? Data is incompatible with sealed. Okay, fine. So would you just like, I don't know. No, you won't write anything there. Okay, fine. But we can say data class command. It's really the only command we need is a cd, right? But we have LSs, so like let's just say Well, I don't know. This might not even be the right syntax for implementing sealed classes. So let's just look that up real quick. Kotlin sealed class example. Okay, and like kotlinlang.org, good SEO. You're the first hit. Good for you. I hate it when it's like Geeks for Geeks or some garbage. Sealed class, whatever. Constructors. Location of subclasses have to be in the same package. Okay, so we're not supposed to nest them. We're supposed to do it like this. I was just checking whether there was some nested way that was like a special case or something. So we really, I mean, maybe it's just a sealed interface. Do I need anything? Well, let's make an interface for now. And if we need some non-interface friendly features, we'll just change it to a class. How about that? Although it does look kind of stupid. Can I put a semicolon there? Is that allowed? Yeah. Okay, cool. Like that? If I just say data class foo, is this allowed? Yes. Okay, so apparently a new line. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, it doesn't even need the new line. Amazing. Huh. So I guess the body of an interface is optional. That's exciting. Maybe even a class? What if I said this? Yeah. All of these, the body is just optional. What an exciting job for the parser. So we'll just do that, I guess. And we can say class list transcript, because this doesn't even tell us anything. So this is just going to be a class with no features at all, which is fine. And then we can have a data class CD, which is I probably have to say val dir, which is a string, and this extends transcript. Is this how I write this? I think so. Looks good. Data class. This is a listing. It's a, you know, why am I saying? Let's just call it ls. And the last thing is we can have a file entry. So file, which has a val name string and val size int. This whole thing is a transcript. Cool. So this is kind of what we want to parse the input to. Lists of transcripts. And then we can do pattern matching on them to build up our tree. So let's get started then on our tree type as well. I think it's another sealed interface. Probably. Maybe it's a sealed class. Let's say interface for now. Sealed interface. Is it a file system entry? It's I guess Unix would just call it a file, right? But we've already used that name. Oh, you know, we should call this a file listing or something, right? So sealed interface file system object. And I think this is going to need at least, I shouldn't have to say abstract because it's implicitly abstract, I think. Total size is an int. Expecting member declaration. Well, yes, that's what I was expecting too. Abstract. Oh, fun. Of course. Great. So then we can say data class file object contains a actually it can just contain a file listing. These are all the things I need, right? That seems deeply wrong. These happen to be the fields that I want, and it's related, but this is part of the transcript. We don't want our parser types getting mixed into our representation, like domain object types, I don't think. So I'm just going to redundantly specify the fields here. Val name, string, val size, int, and it's a file system object. And it hasn't implemented, of course, the method. Implement it, please. And it just returns size. Now, the spec doesn't ask us, the spec does not ask us to compute the total size of a file, but it will be a useful instrumental goal, right? We want everything in the file system to know its own size and to compute it efficiently. So it'll be cached in directories, and in files it'll just be, you know, the size it started with. Also, file system objects need something else. They need a parent. So maybe I guess a file system object needs several things, right? It needs because we want it might as well track its own name, right? Why put this in the file? And it needs to track its parent. So we still want it to be sealed, but I think we want it to be an abstract data class. Does that even make sense? Is that something you're allowed to say? Abstract can't be data. Okay, fine. And it needs like a... Abstract is redundant because sealed is present. That's interesting. Okay. No, wait. I want to leave sealed in and take out abstract. And it has a field. Val name is a string. Val parent is a file system object, maybe? So this is closer, I think, to the right model. And now I have to learn how to like describe inheritance in Kotlin. Inheritance. Okay, so the subclass needs to have its constructor. And it delegates to the base constructor in parentheses. Okay, fine. So I guess we need to take the parent here as well, which makes sense. Name size, well, name parent size, let's say in that order. Parent hides member of supertype. Well, it's fine. I mean, I guess. Is it not supposed to have a primary constructor, or I'm a little lost again? What is a I mean, like, I know what primary constructor sort of means. One primary constructor, one or more, or zero or more, really, secondary constructors. Part of the class header, yeah. Primary can't have any code, yeah. Yeah, well, but, okay, secondary constructors. Code and initializer blocks, yeah. But inheritance, yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I want the size to be a field of the subclass, and for the name and parent to delegate to the superclass constructor. So if there's a primary constructor, you initialize. If it has none, each secondary has to initialize the base type using the super keyword. I see. Okay, I mean, I think I understand what they're asking me to do then. So I'm not supposed to give this a primary constructor at all. I'm just supposed to say constructor takes all these, super of name and parent, right? I'm not allowed to say val because, yeah, sure, that's fine. Now, how do I have a field that comes from this? If I say convert to primary constructor, does that make any sense? No. I don't quite understand what you're asking of me. So a view in their example, it doesn't exist. Okay, I'm supposed to? Oh, of course. If I'm writing Kotlin, I must be an Android developer. I must know what this shit means. But okay, properties. Can you set one of these from the constructor somehow? Backing field. Hello? I just want one field in the parent and one field in the subclass, and I don't understand how I'm supposed to do it. Getters and setters. I mean, I guess I could declare a property, maybe? So what if I said, okay, what's wrong with this? Super is not an expression. I thought that was how I was supposed to do it. Oh, data class file object is a file system object. I thought insert super call. Oh, it goes here. Okay, so size is now ignored, but I think I can say val size. And then I can say this dot size equals size. Okay, is that allowed? Data, okay, fine. It's not a data class. Fuck you, right? Is this... Constructors never used. So I think this is sort of what I was supposed to do. I don't like it. But maybe this was what was intended? Because, yeah, I mean, there's only one constructor, and it implements, or it initializes the parent and the size field. And if I had a file object of foo, null, and 1, and I said, what is your name? Like, that's allowed. So this... Oh, somehow the question mark got dropped here. So this name, like, property was inherited correctly from the parent. This doesn't seem right. Because, like, really what I had before was fine, except no. I had this all as a primary constructor and delegating to the parent class, which was allowed, but it declared it by making these part of the primary constructor, it made these into fields with the same name as the parent's fields, which properties, excuse me, which I don't want. So I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. Constructor. And actually, I think this is it, right? Because we're adding its children later. Well, except we do also need a property that's like var val children is a mutable map, I guess. Mutable map from string to directory object. I think we don't actually need this. It could just be a list, but who knows what we'll need in part 2, right? Oh, actually, I can just say equals, I think. Mutable map doesn't have constructors. Oh, sure. Mutable map of? Yes. So this gets automatically set when the thing is constructed. And I think we need a size that's like an int question mark or something, right? And then our total size is going to check whether size is initialized, and if so, return it. And otherwise, set it and then return it. Right? It's like a lazy thing. Let's look up if there's a good pattern in Kotlin for doing that. Kotlin lazy field initializer pattern. Lazy initialization in Kotlin. Lazy. Ooh. This looks promising. If you don't want to initialize a class property inside the constructor, you can lazy takes a lambda and returns a lazy t. The first call to get. Okay. Well, this is exactly what I want. I'll just have a lazy property that produces an int. And the function that we're implementing will just call that, right? So I've already forgotten the syntax. String by lazy, and then a lambda. Int by lazy 1. So we'll do that for now, and then we'll actually implement it later. Override fun total size equals size. I guess I didn't actually have to specify the type here. Okay. Is this... Something's wrong here. It's not reformatting. This is really the normal way to format that? Okay, whatever. It'll be longer later. I just thought it wasn't formatting because it wasn't changing this, and this is obviously wrong, but okay. Oh, I guess I can give myself a little more breathing room as well. And I mean, it's actually really easy to implement, right? lazily, it's... This is a lambda, so I'm probably not saying return. Right, because 1 was legal. Is it possible? I have these size fields and functions. Can I say abstract val total size int? I can. This is specifying a property abstractly. Okay, that's interesting. Size overrides nothing. That's correct. Okay, that's better. And I can just say total size here. Delete this, say override. And this still all type checks, and now I don't have 2 different members with slightly different names that mean the same thing. Great. I can just say it is the sum of the sizes. I mean, children dot values dot sum of directory object. No, don't put it. I didn't ask for those braces, I don't think. Maybe I typed them. I might have typed them myself. Directory object size, total size, right? Amazing. That looks kind of nice, I think. So, as long as we never look up the total size of something before we're done adding children to it, we'll be fine. If we ever do that, we'll be very unhappy. But I don't think we will. And it's all cached, so like if we ask for the total size of the root, it'll compute the total size of everything under it exactly once. And if we ask for the total size of something in the middle before we ask about the root, well, that'll be fine too. Okay, good. It might be time to start, like, writing a parser, I guess. Parse string, no, you name first. Entry is a string, and it produces a transcript. Really, it should say transcript entry, right? Okay. I was renaming the thing. I wasn't just changing it in that one place. Okay. There's 3 things. So oh, there's another, isn't there? I mean, no, we can ignore when it's named a directory, right? Because we'll cd into the directory if it matters. Right? If we look... Actually, what am I doing here? I can just look at our input file. Day7.txt. So, like, here, when we list the root, right? There's a bunch of directories, like gibjj and hopsbucht, right? And I could add those to the root when I parse them, but I don't have to, because we're going to cd into gubjit in a minute, right? And at that time, I can create gubja and link it to root, and then continue processing gubja. And then when I get a cd dot dot, I can traverse back up to the parent. So I don't think I need to even know about these entries, just like I don't need to know about these entries. But, I mean, I should parse them, I guess. Which means they should be represented here. Class data, or dir listing is a transcript entry. I guess this wants some regexes, right? Private val cd is regex of cd of either like slash or multiple word characters. Private val ls is, I mean, that's an easy one, I guess. Oh, don't forget the $sign. Oh, and this one, there you go. Oh, triple quotes, please. So I don't have to do all this weird escape. Hello? All this weird escaping. Private val dir is the regex of dir and some word characters, I guess. Private val file is, this is the exciting one. A file is a number and then some words. Ah, there can be dots as well. Are there any of those in directory names? I would guess not. But I suppose it doesn't hurt to allow them. Regex of why am I putting $signs at the end? I'm going to be using match entire anyway. Slash multiple digits, a single space, and then, oh, was it a single space or are there ever multiples? Looks like a single space. They're not aligning or anything. Okay. Forgot the plus here. That could have been unpleasant. So I think these are the 4 regexes representing like what an entry looks like. And I guess before we get any further, let's check this regex. Does this work on cd root? Yep. Does it work on cd husdistrib.blueberg? Yep. Great. Okay. That's sort of all we wanted. I don't know. Why test things? Let's just assume everything's going to be great. I don't want to do all this testing again. I'd rather spend 15 minutes tracking down a bug. Haha. Let's test this one. Well, you know, I really shouldn't just be typing in what I think the input will. Hello? Okay. Let's grab this. Ah, I forgot. The CDs can be ... Okay. Well, that's fine. We're allowing that. We'll just check whether it's dot dot. I accidentally hit the keystroke that ends my recording a second ago. You didn't miss anything because I noticed as soon as I did it. But I'm gonna have to edit this together, and so I'm annoyed. I wondered what the Control-1 key does. Does that like pop up intentions or something? I think I just wanted Alt-Enter, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to edit these together. Yeah. Okay, that directory listing works fine. How about this one? We're looking at a file, so that would be like this. Yep. Oh. Oh, I see. It highlights the part that matches if you have extra garbage at the end. That's fine. And if it's a perfect match, it just says yes. All right. So these regexes all look fine to me. So we can basically say I mean, I kind of want a cond. This is kind of ugly, but let's just write it. If cd dot matches, no. Okay, what else can you say on a... I mean, we could say match entire, and that returns maybe a match result. I mean, I guess we can just do this whole thing with Elvis's. Sure. Entry. And then if this matches... Can I say question.let or something? I think so, yeah. Let. I guess we can basically just say it dot. No, it's a CD, so we want to make a CD of it dot group. Groups 1? It's a match group. Well, I don't understand what is the type. So this is a match group collection. Returns maybe a match group, but like I know it's, if it matched, it really is existing, right? The type system can't guarantee that because regexes suck. But I know it's true. So am I supposed to say... Like, what even is this? Zero is the whole match and 1 is the first one. So I think I really am supposed to say like this. And then like... Well, so what the hell is a match? Match group collection is a collection of match group. A match group has a value, I guess. Yeah, okay. Like that. right? So we said CD match the whole thing. If so, let it. Like if this is non-null, then let it and get the value of its first group and make a CD out of it. Otherwise, ls.match entire entry, let ls. I guess that's it. There you go. dir.match entire entry, let I guess it's a dir listing of it.groups of one dot value. I mean, again, this, we don't actually need this information, remember. We wrote this because it seemed like we should parse it faithfully even if we don't care about the result. Otherwise, file.match entire of entry, let file listing of it.groups 1 and it.groups 2 to int? No. Oh, value. I forgot the value this time. Dir listing. Oh, is it empty? We don't care about it? Okay, never mind. We're not reporting it faithfully. Great. And lastly, if none of this was true, then throw runtime exception can't parse entry. This is hell. The auto formatter is awful at this. Come on, I'm just writing a cond, you weirdo. Like, what I wrote wasn't perfect, but this is a nightmare. Right? Like, I just want this. That's not bad. Why is this? Oh, I'm supposed to say return. So, no, this is still wrong. Okay, at least it's not reformatting this again, because it all fits on one line. Fine. So now we can test parse, right? And I can say, like, parse this. This, I guess. God, it's so slow. Even JShell is faster than this. It's a transcript entry that's a dir listing. And we don't care at all about it. Because dir listings are all the same. And if I said to parse this, aha. I converted the wrong part to an int. I was supposed to take this to an int, and this should be left alone. Nope. Ah, a file takes its stuff in the opposite order. So I made a file listing, take name and then size. But actually size and the name is what the input file looks like. And I think we want to mirror the shape of the input file. So if I look at the uses of file listing, the first one should be toInt, and the second one should not. Okay. So try this again. Are we ready? Can I type stuff? It's a file listing with this size and this name. Perfect. Okay, I think that's like the most complicated thing to parse, really. But it wouldn't hurt to test the rest. I mean, I already tested the dir listing. CD and ls are so simple. Like, how could they go wrong? He said, fingers crossed. Now, we could, I think, write this like creating the tree as a reduce. But it's a little awkward to maintain like both the entire tree and where you are in it. So I would be reducing where like the thing I'm reducing is a mutable blah, and that feels bad. So I think I'm just going to say, like, let's have a function fun. What do you call it when you inflate something by like putting water on? Oh, we'll call it hydrate. Wouldn't that be funny? Hydrate. No, that's not a professional name. Build tree. It takes a list. Nope, got a name first. Transcript is a list of transcript entry. And it returns a directory object. Really, of course, it could even return something more specific, a directory object, because we know the root will be a directory. But let's not. So we can basically just say like var, oh I know, we're using mutable locals, this is going to be exciting. Although actually, well first we can say val, no. I guess I am going to just be like, maybe I'm not going to maintain the root. When I'm done parsing, when I'm done building the tree, I'll just go up to the top until I can't go up anymore, and that'll be the root, I guess. So var parent, or current, I guess, is a directory object question mark. It's going to start as null. And then when I see my first CD, I won't even have to know that like slash is special. I'll just CD into the root and I'll say, oh, your parent is whatever the current was, right? So basically, we just want to iterate over the transcript. Sure, we'll say entry though. For entry and transcript, when entry. So how do I mean, it's a data class. Well, no, is it a data class? Hang on. Yeah, these are data classes. Can I say like cd of val name? Let's just see if add remaining branches. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, but this doesn't let me destructure it. Hello? Surely Kotlin can do this. Kotlin pattern match when data class. Destructuring in when, yes. This is... Oh no, it's a forum thread saying currently it's impossible. No, wait a minute. This is... Huh. But... Sorry, I know you guys aren't seeing this. I'm trying to figure out which of these is the right thing to look at. Why destructuring declaration can't be used in when expression? Okay, here's a Stack Overflow thread. Why can't you destructure in when? So like, yes, this is exactly what I want to write. Well, it's not quite what I want. Constructor pattern matching. Here's an issue. Oh my god. Whatever utrack is, I don't want it. Is this open? Closed? It's open. Yeah, so... Add a way to do the most basic pattern matching in the whole world. Sealed classes in a when statement, you have to use is... And then... You have to destructure it. Okay, well, it's miserable, but I guess that's the way it is. So we can just take the dir listing in ls and throw them away and say else nothing. Is that, are you allowed to write unit like that? Null? How do you, oh no. This is side effecting, so I can just like, oh, but I really want to say that I'm leaving the others out on purpose. All right, I'll put all the branches back in. Oh, I guess I can do that. And so if I say cd, I guess there's a couple things here. It's the obvious thing to do is to create a new directory object and link it to this, right? I could say, you know, val next is directory object of entry dot dir, which is allowed because it knows Kotlin knows in this context that entry is a CD. It's not just a transcript entry, right? Yeah, that's why it's allowed as a dir, because it knows from having checked the type here. So you can say entry.dir, but we need to also give it a parent, which is current, and then we could just say current equals next. And we're done, right? Oh, not directory object, but file system object. I think. How did I delete the type somehow? Or the name? I thought I typed this question mark like 7 times, I thought. Okay. The parent should be optional. The root has no parent. Oh, and this isn't a val, but a var. Yeah, okay. So this, I think, is suspiciously close to being correct. So much that you might believe it is. Oh, except it's not finished either. Current dot children. I guess we should make this a directory object. Current dot children dot put. Yes, put entry dot dir of wait, what's going on here? A directory object contains its name. Oh, even though we don't think we care about the names, we're keeping them, sure. Right, so this now is what I meant is close to correct. I left this out, but not on purpose. But there is something I left out on purpose. Yeah, I guess you're right. Current is null, so if current is not null, then update it to point down to this. I don't think we actually need the link in this direction. But I'm putting it in for good measure because who knows what part 2 will be. Oh no, we do need the link in this direction. Because we're computing, we're doing a recursive walk from the top to the bottom, finding, yeah, okay, this we do need. I don't think the directories need to know their own names, but I'm telling them anyway. So, now, this might look like it's correct, but I don't think it actually is. Maybe it works. I don't know what, let's actually go look at the example. Do we ever CD into the same directory twice? It doesn't look like it, right? We go into A, and then into E, and then into, oh, but like we go back up. I don't know. I'm just a little concerned that we might CD back down into a directory that already exists and explore it again. And I wouldn't want to replace the existing directory entry, right? Is basically my issue. So what we should do is say, like, if the parent already has a child with this name, then just update the current to that child and don't do anything else. So I think what we should do is say current equals current dot children dot get of entry dot dir, or this. Is that allowed? Oops. No, you can't put a lambda here. Do I want parentheses? Is that allowed? Expecting an expression. So, like, isn't there's like, I don't want this. I want if null, if there's some like, do I want take if? No. So this, if this exists, I want this to be the current. Otherwise, I want it to be like this. And I don't know how to say that. Well, I guess I know one way, which is to use Java. Compute if absent. Oh, that's actually kind of nice, isn't it? That's sort of better than what I was doing anyway. So oh, it's not quite, because if current is null, then current.children question.compute if absent will just do nothing. Whereas what I want it to do is compute something and then store it in a non-empty mess. So this isn't quite right. Okay, let's go look up some more Kotlin shit. Kotlin Elvis operator multiple lines. That's what I wanted. You can wrap it in run. Interesting. So what is the meaning of run? So run, I mean, I guess it's just, I was thinking of all these scope functions as like members of, you could say .run or something. But no, I guess run is just something that takes a lambda and and invokes it, a thunk even, and invokes it. Okay. So if there's already a child with that name, return it and make it the current. Otherwise, construct a new directory object pointing to the current as its parent. And then, if current isn't null, which it still could be at this point, or could not be, then put a thing in it pointing to the new directory and return that. So in fact, maybe it would be nice to, can I like, I wanted to see about letting this. Right? Like this dot also, I think. Because in let, we're returning the body, but I don't want that. I want to also do this. Hang on, this is... Right? So now say current is either what was there or else run this. Oh, and now I only actually have one. I don't need the run anymore. Construct a directory object and return it. But first, make it be what's pointed at. Okay, so is this run like, can I... I mean, can't I just like, oops, delete that and that? Oh, it was way better with the run. Okay. We'll just leave it in even though it's redundant. So that looks right to me. Funnily enough, we don't actually need the braces here, although I dread to think what the formatter will do to me. It looks okay. And if we get a file, we must have a parent. If, you know, Advent of Code's input is correct. So we can say current dot children dot put of file object of entry dot name and then the current, which is the parent, and entry dot size. What are you upset about here? Oh yeah, I need to say the name. Entry.name. You're still upset about this though. Did I get this wrong? Yeah, this should be, it should have file system object as children, of course. I just kept forgetting what I was calling what. Oh no, what's wrong now? I broke this. Oh, I see. The parent now, it doesn't know that we're never going to CD into a file. So I think I can just say file system object here and it should be okay. No. Is that, can you say as? Is that a thing? Expression should use clarifying parentheses. Cast will always fail. Oh, but it'll only always fail because you've never seen me as reassigned to current, maybe? What are the clarifying parentheses you think? Value of current is always nil. Oh my god, I made a whole nightmare. What happened? This was correct until I changed the types of some things, and now it's not. Okay, let's take this current as directory object dot let, and we'll call it quid for clarity. Quid.children.get this. That shouldn't have a brace. And we can just look at quid here. And this now looks fine, except there's too many closing braces, I think. Value of current is always null. You've actually done some pretty good analysis here in noticing that, yes, while I assign to current, I only do it when current is non-null, and therefore current can never become non-null. So that's a little impressive. Map.put should be converted to assignment. Okay, if you insist. I assume it's you want this? Sure. I guess that's fine. And now... But like current really should always be a directory object, right? It can never be a file system object, so I'm never CDing into it. I could even call it quid here, which would make more sense. So it's either, yeah, I know, everything's all fucked again. So either it's this, is this a thing you write? It is, maybe? It's a directory object. Entry dot, I had it a minute ago. Okay, are these, is the braces just wrong? Sort of. Why, how do I make it like highlight matching brace? Is that a thing? Highlight on caret movement matched brace. Like, it isn't doing it though. I see it in the left gutter, that's cute. But I want, like, right? I want something... Okay, so what's happening here? We're saying... Okay, is this formatting it all right? Does not look right. If I just wrote a null check, everything would be so easy. I don't even know what is parsing wrong here. Like, it's saying type mismatch, but it's clearly indenting stuff like it's misunderstood completely what I've typed, right? This is sort of what I think is happening. I guess that's fine. Okay, it's not reformatting. I don't know. Get. Give me back get. At least I sort of understood what that meant. It? Yes. Right? So, what's wrong with current? Current doesn't even exist. It's supposed to be working directory. Directory object needs a question mark file system object as its parent. Oh, the problem is, well, a problem is the children of a directory object might not be directories. So really, I should say, like, this as directory object. There we go. All right, and what are you upset about here? Like, Elvis operator always returns the left, but it doesn't. This could be null, could it not? What does as mean? Kotlin as. Oh, sorry. This is like, okay. It was being shown to you in a weird way. Is, not is, smart casts. As is an unsafe cast operator. It throws an exception if the cast isn't possible. I see. Ah, so I want as question mark. Saying if it's not a directory object, then return null. So I feel like, oh yeah, these should still be question marks because it could be null. That's true. Okay, so we're back to like this working. And I don't know how to do a question marky indexed lookup. So all right, whatever. This part I like, sort of. I don't like all the question marks, but that's life. So if we're in a file listing, quid.children.put is this all allowed? I'm a little surprised that here it's saying it's a directory object question mark, because this is only being called if we have made it through this, which asserted that it is a directory object. But like, okay, I think this sort of looks right. And we've constructed the tree now. And we can just say while quid dot parent. I mean, there's got to be some like iterate or whatever, but not equal null. Is that how you're supposed to write it in Kotlin? Quid equals quid.parent return quid. Type mismatch. Well, that's true. The parent of any object should really be a directory object. You can't ever have a file as your parent. Oh, here they're saying even quid itself might be null. That's fair, I guess. It won't be. I mean, yeah, so I guess we can say val root, no, var root equals, well, I want to like, it's a little annoying that the current working directory itself might in principle be null. It would be so much nicer if I just started all of this with the root instead of trying to parse the root as line 1. Right? I mean, I guess we could do that. So this will be a directory object named root with no parent, right? And we can like, is there an assert or something? Like I want to blow up if something is false. I guess I'm just throw an exception. If transcript 0 is not, oh, I need the dang parentheses, is not equal to, oh, can I even use equal? Is this a data class? Yeah. Is not equal to cd of slash, then throw runtime exception expected to start at root, not transcript of 0. Okay, so now we can just kind of ignore sublist from 1 to transcript.size and just like skip that first one, right? So this is kind of nice. Now I can say get, yeah, it should be a directory object. So that looks sort of better, right? Smartcast to directory object is impossible because quid.parent, I see. What if I did this? What does that even mean? No. Okay. Can I say like val val parent equals this. Do I just not want parents? No. I don't want them. Okay, you don't like this at all. While has empty body. It's right here. What? Oh man, I really messed something up. Okay, so maybe you can't... control flow? Loops? While? So, like, I guess you can't do something here? Okay, I mean, whatever. I'll just do it this way. I thought it was supposed to be pretty smart. I mean, it's saying, like... I get why it's saying it can't, because, like, something could have mutated could in the meantime, right? So that its parent is now null. I guess I'll just do this. There's only one thread. I'm not worried. Yeah, we don't need that type, I guess. That's true. So, have we succeeded in parsing a tree? Let's find out. I assume not. Map. Parse it. Transcript to, well, let's just say build tree of it. Choose a variable tree. Why don't you like this? Redundant let call could be removed. I mean, I agree, but I wanted it on the right. Print on the whole dang tree. Let's see what we got. Something disastrous, I'm sure. It's a directory object. Yes, very funny. We didn't put two strings on any of this stuff. Because it's a class, not a data class. Ugh. On the other hand, it's kind of exciting that it parsed, huh? You know what? What if we just, like, assumed it's correct? Part 1. Tree dot size. Well, that's not actually our part 1, I guess. We need more. We need to find, like... I mean... That's a number. 44 gigs? It seems plausible. Could be, right? So, but that's not our part 1. We were asked to find the total of only some of the directories, right? So I guess we want on directory object a function that returns all children, right? Like recursively. Fun all, well, let's call it descendants. Turns a sequence, probably better than list. of directory object. I mean, I guess I know how to return this as a stream if I wanted, but I don't really. Children dot values dot, I don't know, there's some kind of sequence thing. As sequence. And I think I want a flat map here. God, there's so many functions. That's one thing about Kotlin. It feels like API bloat. Every object has a million functions on it, and you just like have to know them. There's not like a restrained design where objects have specific purposes, and I don't know. I mean, for collections, it's kind of hard to avoid some of this, but we don't need all of it, I think. Anyway, so yes, flat map is here. Good. So flat map, a lambda, yes, that's very good. Hang on. Well, how do you, okay, I've forgotten. How do you build sequences? Coroutines? Kind of what I mean, but not really? Maybe it is. No. Is it a basic type? No. Standard library? Collections. Sequences. Sequences don't have elements, they produce them. Yes, that's fine. So, but like, what are the construct? How do I make one? Sequence of, okay, yes, that's fine. From chunks. Produce sequence elements one by one or by chunks. Yeah. The sequence function, okay. I think this is sort of what I want. So I want, I guess, not quite this, but sequence of... No, sequence. Like that, right? Oops, sorry, that's not how I was supposed to do it. Oh, and I guess it's supposed to be curlies. Return a sequence of curlies, which is first this. Oh, yield this? Yeah. Okay, the other this? How do I... This at directory object? Thank you. No commas. And then yield all of children dot values dot as sequence dot flat map a lambda. Oh my gosh, the cursor can barely move. It's chugging along. So if, well, when, I guess. When it Can't you figure out what type this should be? It's a file system object. Can you add the remaining branches? There we go. When it's a directory object, return it.descendants. When it's a file object, return empty, right? Boy, it was a lot of yellow until I did this. I don't know exactly what it was misparsing to. Okay, so it's a smart cast. So this looks right, right? So we yield ourselves, and then for each child, if it's a directory object, we yield its descendants, and otherwise we yield nothing. So we need like a fun part one takes a tree, which is a directory object, and returns an int. We want to take tree return tree dot descendants dot filter it dot size is less than or equal to, is that right? Let me check the spec. Yeah, less than or equal to 100,000. And then sum of the total size, right? So now we can, I think, say part one of tree. I'm not like 1,000% confident this will work, but it might. Zero. All right, probably wrong. Okay, let's put a line breakpoint here and try again. What is the tree? Wow. Is it still parsing? That can't be right. I guess so. So the tree is a directory object with 5 children. What does it mean when I click this? Flag it? Like mark it as important, I guess? I see. Can I like... Oh, I called get and it worked. So that seems okay. So, but I guess we knew that this parsed correctly, or at least parsed something that looked like a tree, because we printed the size earlier and it was non-empty. So let's step into part one. So what are the descendants here? Let's step into that. Now where are we? We might be filtering? I don't know. It's so impossible to trace through this stuff. Okay, so here's it is a file object. Empty sequence. Another file object, don't do anything. Another file object, don't do anything. Another file object, don't do anything. That's, oh, it's a directory. Uh-oh. I stepped through it, though. It's, okay. put a line breakpoint here. Okay, here's a directory object with 6 children, and the total size is like still pretty large. So I mean, it makes sense that we're not. Well, no. We should return this. Are you allowed to just like write yield here? I guess I don't want to anyway. So if we go in, I said step into. Hello? Descendants. I don't. Okay, let's leave this. And I guess put a breakpoint in this filter. Its total size. I mean, all of them seem to have a pretty large total size, huh? They're not all identical. And it looks like they are maybe gradually getting smaller. But here's like, this has only 1 child, and its total size is basically the whole directory, right? So if we looked at Quimquolf. Oh no, we forgot to handle ... That's what's wrong. Okay. Got it. Okay. I guess I write a when here. When and well, I guess what I'm gonna do is I probably should have done this anyway. When entry dot dir, and I think I just say ... Like, is this legal? I can just do like nothing here. Oh, but I didn't return anything. Okay, so, but yes, this is allowed. This is how you write this. Quid dot parent, or else throw runtime exception can't no parent for it. No, for quid dot name, misspelled runtime exception. Else all that, right? So an entry is, when the dir is ... then we're setting the quid to either quid's parent or blowing up. And if it's anything else, we're checking to see if we've already been to that directory and returning it if so, and otherwise, okay. So that looks maybe more hopeful. That's a smaller number. So it looks like there might be 20 directories with total size less than this. That's perfectly plausible for the sizes we have so far, right? Let's write that answer in. That's the right answer. Okay, the first time I got a non-zero result, it was correct. I won't say we did this quickly, but it's only been an hour. It feels like I might have been here for 3. I guess not. Cool. God, I really need to address the hotkey issue in Visual Studio, because I just need to unmap those 2 keys that I use for switching scenes, and then everything will be better. Keys? Keyboard? Key map? No. I mean, yes, I love Emacs, but any Emacs key bindings that don't come from Emacs are just uncanny valley stuff that doesn't really make you happy, is my opinion. I don't know. I'll do this off camera, I guess. Let's get commit day 7, part 1. Why are there too many blank lines there? Anything else I'd like to change? You have some warnings for me. Oh, I would love to make that a primary constructor. How do I do that? I did this before and you told me to go to hell. This is what I wanted to write to begin with. You said I was making a new... I must have misunderstood. I thought when I created those fields in the child, it was like, hey, you're making new properties that shadow the parent. And I don't know what I was doing wrong. Maybe it was that they were data classes at the time. If I write data class here, yes, then it's a problem. I see. Okay, well, yes, obviously this should be a primary constructor then. I agree. Yeah, looks good. Let's see what part 2 is. Total disk space is 70 gigs. 70 megs? 70 megs. Yeah, I think I said gigs earlier when I really should have said megs. To run the update, you need unused disk space of at least 30 megs. You need to find a directory you can delete that will free up enough space. So we're finding the directory that is the smallest among directories whose total size is at least. Is that right? Okay. That doesn't seem hard, given what we have already. Let's just do it then. Const val total space is this. Const val space needed is this. Fun part 2 tree directory object. What am I supposed to return? The total size of that directory, as you might have guessed. Int. So we can just say tree.size space used is move the cursor on me. Total space minus total size. Val space. I thought I gave this a totally different name. deletion size needed is space used? No. Oh, this should be space free. I swear I typed that name and then somehow it got changed to total size. Space free is the total space minus used, yes. So deletion size needed is space needed minus space free, right? Yeah. And then we can just return tree.descendants.filter it.total size greater than or equal to deletion size needed dot min of it dot size, I think. Might as well reformat. I thought it would be putting in some spaces here. That's only 4 megs, huh? Just out of curiosity, print on space free to be deleted. So we have, okay, yeah, that seems about right, actually. We're only 5 megs short, or 4.2 or something. We're going to free up 4.5. I like it. Oh, let me copy that. That's the right answer. Nice. Well, let's commit it, I guess. Oh, except, well, you know what? This is useful diagnostics. I kind of like that, actually. Booting up. Boot it up. Let's say, tree dot total size bytes used. There you go. Accounted for. Very good. Then we'll print part 1. Yeah, okay. Let's just run that one more time just to see what it looks like. Yeah, so 44 megs accounted for. We needed to free up 26 megs. Or no. We're like, right. We have 26 megs to go. We need to find 4 in a bit, and we found it. Cool. Part 2. This is a little bit hairy. Specifically this part. The rest is all fine. But extracting this to a function, I don't think is that great, because it's sort of intimately related to this working directory thing and modifies it. And you don't really want like a side function modifying this thing. We made a sequence, that's nice. And we figured out why I was wrong about this stuff. It has to be a data class. If it's a data class, it's implicitly declaring its members as its primary constructor fields as like properties. We learned about lazy initialization. That's nice. This is a little... I wish there was some way to, like, check whether something is null. There must be, right? To check whether... To create a variable, check whether it's null, and also leave it in scope for the rest of the while. Like... This is actually the kind of thing that in Java or C, even, you could do pretty easily. And I'm a little surprised you can't in Kotlin. I don't know, we could write an iterate or whatever, I'm sure. But I would have thought there'd be some way to, like, bring something into scope from the while test clause. All right, we can delete these as well. Now no one will ever know I needed breakpoints to debug this. All right, I guess we're done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. Oh, I said it'd only been an hour. That's because I had to do a cut a while ago accidentally. Whoops. Okay, it has been 100 years. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.